Alright, I'm going to be replacing the screen on a Dell laptop, an Inspiron M5040. The first thing we're going to do is to remove the battery. Pull these two buttons out. The battery slides out. Set that aside. Turn it over. First thing is to carefully go along the edge of the bezel and just pry it apart with your fingernails. And it will eventually pop out. Set that aside. The next thing is to remove 6 screws up in the 2 corners and 4 corners, or 4 screws down in the lower corners. Now, the only tricky part is to, as you pull the screen away from the screen itself and its mounting hardware away from the back, the only tricky part is to carefully disconnect the cable that's right here, which operates the camera. So I'm going to get one more screw. The cable that comes up the back of the screen just pulls out from this connector. So lay that down, pull this down. I've already done this once, but if you'll get, we need to pull off this connecting cable. So carefully pry the tape away from right here. And then you can push the connector out of the connector. And you have to pull off the adhesive that's holding the tape and the connector to the back of the screen. Pull it back like that. Now I'm going to remove the screen from the brackets that hold it here. So there's 4 screws on each side of the frame. And the screen itself will just pull away from the brackets and slide out, just like that. The next step in the process is to take out the new screen. Being wrapped in this envelope. It does have a protective covering which we'll have to take off. And just we'll set that aside. We'll take the screen on one side at least to get the bracket in the right place. The next thing we're going to do is the screws that came out, the very shortest ones are the ones which go in the 4 corners to hold the bracket and the screen on. Get the screws. Help to pull the Once all of the bracket screws are tight, then we reattach everything, all the cabling. Alright, so the real tricky, another tricky part is getting the connector, because it's been so sticky, back in the right place. And it does, so just make sure it got in there like that. We'll put the tape back and put this back here. Okay, that should be okay. The final step is to get the camera cable, hopefully this time, back into the okay. So what I did was just to push the connector up in there, make sure it's got good connection, and then we'll close it back. Okay, I'm going to take the screws and go back into essentially all the same length. Okay, then we'll put this one back in. Make sure all the screws are tight. And we'll put the bezel back on. Bezel just snaps back on. Okay, now that we've got the bezel back in pressed tight, I'm going to insert the battery that we pulled out before. Nice. And if everything worked right, we'll turn the power button on, and the screen is coming up and Windows starting.